reinvention. Reinvent yourself. For any of you guys who don't know, my name is Trevor Burke. I made this channel just to share my story and my experience, and just to connect with people and to fill this deep need to express myself and help other people. Quick story about me, just a little bit of background. Just 5 years ago, I was 260 pounds, just graduated high school. I'm on antidepressants, addicted to pleasure, video games, overeating, porn, smoking weed, drinking, you name it, just escaping my reality. And then I just steadily, out of making mistakes and hitting a low and hitting more lows, I realized something had to change. And my parents realized that too. And they loved me. And they didn't know what was wrong. So they took me to a doctor, and the doctor prescribed an antidepressant. And I changed. I ballooned. I gained over 60 pounds, and I became even more depressed, which is the interesting thing about an antidepressant. You would think, okay, I take this, the depression should go away. And I researched it. My biochemistry changed, but I continued to focus on what made me depressed in the first place. And whatever we focus on, we tend to feel. So if you're focusing on lack, the past, your past failures, why you can't do good, why you're not worthy, no matter what pill you take, no matter what stimulus you take, if you continue to focus on that, you're going to feel those emotions. So I was feeling those emotions over and over and over, just recycling them. And I hit some lows. I hit very lows. I got behind the wheel, drunk, and totaled my car, and really just made so many mistakes early on, to where I had to reflect. And we always say, those who self-reflect, rather than project, then we get the lesson. Then we can find out what we did wrong, what we were meant to learn to construct our better future. So yeah, I made all these mistakes. I made all these errors in judgment. I was running away from all responsibility. I was running away. And, it was after that moment of totaling my dad's car, getting in trouble with the law, having to pay the consequences, realizing that I fucked up. And it was after on the antidepressants, making these mistakes, running away, that, I was faced with a pivotal moment. And I remember months before that, my dad had, given me this book. It was called Awaken the Giant from Within by Tony Robbins. And I looked at it and I'm like, awaken the giant from within. I'm 260 pounds. I'm already a giant. What do I need this for? So the book naturally sat on my dresser for months, collecting dust. And then these things started to happen, these mistakes. And I guess out of the lowest of the lows, or something guided me to pick up the book. And I began to just read it. It was a big book, but it was stimulating, because Tony was talking about new ideas. He was talking about, beliefs, decisions, the power of positive thought, and how we could change our reality by simply just making these subtle changes. And I thought, wait, this is too good to be true. But then part of me was like, what else do you have to lose? What you're doing's not working. So the true sign of intelligence is, can you entertain a new idea? And I sure as hell wasn't intelligent at that point, but I could entertain a new idea. So I was like, okay, let me just take this in and see what it is. So the power of decisions, changing my beliefs. I was just beginning to, stimulate new thoughts by asking myself different questions. Another chapter in there was, ask better questions. Questions are the answer. And I thought, what? I've never heard that before. And then come to find out, that's all thinking is asking yourself, asking and answering questions. And I was asking myself some terrible questions. What am I going to eat today that's going to be, super filling? What am I going to watch on YouTube or Twitch today? Where, can I get my Chester Cheetos today? When am I going to get those? Or what stupid video am I going to watch today? Which way am I going to escape my reality today? These questions, were guiding me to terrible answers. And, you wonder why you get the results you have, and you just cut me off again. It gets too hot. But no, I was asking myself these terrible questions, and by reading these and stimulating new thoughts, I began to, notice what I was doing, and became conscious of, that I was behind everything that was happening to me. And I was under the belief that, things kind of just happen. And then now I realize that things happen just. Jim Rohn taught me, one of my mentors. And it was an interesting moment, because I began to make subtle changes, in my thoughts, in my beliefs, in my feelings, and in my actions. And that's all attitude is thoughts, feelings, and actions in a line. And I changed my attitude. I changed my attitude on life. Instead of expecting things to, go wrong and, I'm not worthy and this, I just started to expect a little bit better. I started treating the people around me better. I started to work on myself. I started to feed my mind with these books and these tapes and these audio programs that were empowering, stimulating, and also they got me to think better about the future. And they got me focusing on creating a vision of seeing something worth living. And every one of these speakers I was listening to, they always had something in common, where it was like, get specific on what you want. Every single one of them was like, get specific on what you want. You can't hit a target if you don't know what the target is. A ship doesn't leave the bay unless it has a destination. So get clear on what you want. And I began to just start, get a pen and paper and start to draw out, what I really wanted and who I was and what I wanted to create. And, first off, I'm 260 pounds. I'm a wreck. I'm all over the place. And, I want a girl. I want someone to, I want a girl. Okay. I want someone to spend time with. I want to do that. And I was like, okay, I wrote down exactly the type of girl I wanted. And I kind of just, that piece of paper went came and went and was gone. But months later, after making the subtle changes of going to the gym, thinking better about myself, expecting more, and living in abundance, and putting out into the universe what I wanted to attract, all of a sudden, boom, I got this girl. And it took me months to really think about, wait a minute. I went back and I looked at what I wrote down on the piece of paper, and then she checked off every single thing I wrote down. And then I looked at my physical body. Everything I wrote down. Okay, the fat was gone, and it was gone. And it stayed gone. And my relationship with my family, my knowledge and my wisdom and everything was growing and growing and growing. Everything was exponentially growing. And I credit it to this self-education of this never-ending search for knowledge and wisdom and insight, out of the pursuit to live our positive potential, the purposeful pursuit of our potential. And I was a 19-year-old. I didn't really think I had, much to give, but search and you shall find. And I feel like personal development and self-improvement was the prerequisite to finding myself and really understanding and getting a hold on my life, my finances, my body, my relationships, my health, my wealth, everything. Just an understanding. And, it was such a drastic turn. It was such a drastic shift from where I was at to where I'm at now, and then where I'm going. And I can't help but feel like, sharing this with you guys and just sharing my journey and my process, because, man, I wish all I needed was someone like that to tell me. And luckily enough, I had someone, and they told me. So if you guys are in this place, just go search, and start doing the subtle different changes, because you never really know. And by searching and by stimulating different thoughts, we have different thoughts, we're going to have different feelings. And then with those different feelings, we can take different action. And then you're going to get new results. And then it gets fun, because then you can implement and you can get real specific about the girl you want, the money you want, the people you want, where you want to live, what you want to experience, how you want to feel each and every day in every way. And you can do that. It's up to you. It's so possible. Okay? And, I feel compelled to keep making these videos because they're so... Something happened, and I'm dedicating the rest of my life to finding out what exactly happened up here that created such a drastic shift in fortune, in change. And I'm never going to stop. Thank you all for riding with me. Saturday, enjoy your weekend, stay safe, but either way, carry on.